to remember the millions we lost and give hope for a better future. Never again. Never again will we judge people by their race or religion instead of size of heart. Never again will we let ourselves be misled, discriminate, and tear communities apart. Never again will we spread hatred instead of spreading love or hope in the darkest of times. Never again will we imprison people for factors they cannot control, send them away when they have innocently committed no crimes. No, never again. Never again. Thank you.
My name is Georgiana McMillan, Doncaster Primary Ambassador, and I would like to read this poem written by Michael Rosser, The Absentees. There are gaps, there are blanks in the house of my life. There's a face, nothing more, something gone from my life. She was here, he was there, in the rooms of my life. There's a place for them both in the words of my life. Thank you.
My name is Eve Golding, Doncaster Primary Ambassador. I would like to read this poem written by Pavel Friedman whilst he was in concentration camp on 4th of June 1942. On September 29, 1944, Pavel was deported to Auschwitz, where he very sadly died. The butterfly, the last, the very last, so richly, brightly, dazzlingly yellow. Perhaps it's the sun's tears beating against a white stone. Such a yellow, is carried lightly way up high. It went away, I'm sure, because it wished to kiss the world goodbye. For 7 weeks I've lived in here, penned up inside this ghetto, but I have found my people here. The dandelions call to me, and the white chestnut candle in the court. Only I never saw another butterfly. That butterfly was the last one. Butterflies don't live in here, in the ghetto. Thank you.
My name is Oliver Dorian. I am a Doncaster Primary Ambassador. I would like to read this poem, Homesick, written in 1943. The author of this poem is unknown, but there was most likely a child prisoner in the Terezin ghetto. I've lived in the ghetto here for more than a year, in Terezin, in the Black Town now, and when I remember my old home so dear, I can live it more than I do, somehow. Our home, why did they tear me away? Here the weak die easy as a feather, and when they die forever. I'd like to go back home again, makes me think of sweet spring flowers. Before, when I used to live at home, it never seemed so dear and fair. I remember that now those golden days, but maybe I'll go in there soon again. People walk along the street, you see at once on each you meet, that there's a ghetto here, a place of evil and of fear. There's a little to eat and much to want. When bits are bit, it's horrid to live, but no one must give up. The world turns and times change. Yet we all hope the time will come when we'll go home again. Now I know how dear it is, and I often remember it. Thank you.
My name is Grace Rivera, Doncaster Primary Ambassador. Today I'd like to read a poem that I have written in honor of those lost during the Holocaust. Night of Fear. In the dark of night they came, with orders to take, to kill, to maim. Innocent lives stolen away, families torn forever to pay. Camps of death, a nightmare true, lives lost in humanity's year. Millions of people at Hitler's command, it's now time to take a stand. Even in the dark of days, there are still glimmers of hope, ways of resistance and bravery shown. As the survivors, how they have stood, how they have grown. We must remember, says Peter, the atrocities forever need to be disputed. We must honour and remember the lives lost, always and forever at any cost. Thank you.
My name is Bethany Dixon and I'm a member of the Doncaster Youth Council. I would like to talk today about Suzanne Ripton and Madame Coulon. Suzanne Ripton is a Holocaust survivor who lived in Nazi-occupied Paris with her family in 1940. Suzanne recalls the time when her mother told her to go into her bed as they heard the sound of heavy boots walking up the stairs. It was the Nazis. Soldiers banged and banged at the front door, but they did not answer, so they smashed it down with an axe and told the family to pack a bag. Suzanne and her family were terrified, and their brave neighbour, Madame Coulon, heard the commotion from next door. She raced in, claiming Suzanne as her daughter. She took Suzanne by the hand and brought her back to her apartment. Luckily, the Nazi officers did not realise what was happening, otherwise this could have been a very different story. Unfortunately, this was the very last time Suzanne saw her parents. For the next few years, Suzanne was passed from hiding place to hiding place and was eventually rescued by the Red Cross in 1947 after the war had ended, and was brought back to live with her grandmother in Newcastle. Years later, Suzanne found out that both of her parents were killed at Auschwitz. Madame Colomb has been recognised for her bravery and has been commemorated in the Holocaust Museum in Israel for her act, which ultimately saved Suzanne's life. This is how the actions of ordinary people can completely transform a person's life. Thank you for your time.